EP42. Myself, Samuel Law. I got Coach me. What you saying, bro?
Yeah, back.
Yeah. How's the holiday?
It was cool, man.
No, you haven't got a tan. What are you talking about? Yeah, bruv.
I'm black, man. Cut that tan talk out, man.
Yeah. Anyway, Kev, what going?
Oh, go on.
Yeah. Dash. Digital Dash. What you saying?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, man. Alright, cool. So before we actually start this video, check out the TeamTalkTV podcast video we done on the AJ fight, AJ Ruiz recap. That's on YouTube now.
Last week, shout out Kev. Who was there last week as well?
What?
Podcast.
Oh, Ibs.
And who's there?
And who's the last one? Sidi.
That was a good one, man.
Yeah.
That was. I like that whole thing that you lot did last week. It was a good thing.
Yeah, appreciate it. Shout out to the fans listening as well, first time listeners and that. You managed to bring your chair closer. But yeah, man. We'll start off with the afternoon game. Leicester 4-1. Leicester are just doing their thing, boy. Quietly, 1 game a week. You know, like Jamie Vardy's on fire. How many goals has Vardy scored this season?
I'm not sure, but I think he's top scorer.
He's top goal scorer.
I think he's top scorer. I'm just checking it now. I think
he's got 8 and 8. They're saying he can break his own record of consecutive goals. But I mean, Dash, Brendan Rodgers. First of all, do you rate him? Like,
Of course. I've been rated him. Now I've thought. Now, the time he took, even though it's a lesser league at Celtic, he's got
16 goals. Time he's got 11.
Wow. 16 goals. Yeah, he's odds on to be top goal scorer, isn't it? Yeah, I just think, I rate Brendan Rodgers. He's a good coach. We saw that at Liverpool. And at Celtic, I felt like he added that winning mentality, even though it's a lesser league.
People didn't rate that Celtic move, you know. I remember he was winning stuff and people was like, it's only Scottish league.
But it's Scottish league, but you're still winning, innit? You've got that mentality of winning. And, you know, and Celtic are a big club in their own right as well. So, you know, that facet of, you know, managing a big club and
there's pressure within that side.
It's not the same pressure as the Premier League, but it's a pressure within itself. So I felt like he learned all the mistakes he made at Liverpool, and he's come back to the Premier League a better coach. And I felt like a big club, i.e. an Arsenal, should have seen that, noticed that, and taken advantage of it. And I did call for Brendan Rodgers when Wenger left, but hey, that's another story. And yeah, he's doing fantastic at Leicester.
Yeah,
you know? They're playing towards Vardy's strengths again, you know, and they've got quality players as well. So yeah, they're gonna challenge, man.
So Kev, where do you think Leicester will finish this season? Bear in mind, they've got this whole 1 game a week. Rodgers has had 1 game a week before in the past with Liverpool, with SAS. I remember when they nearly won the title. They went in Europe that season. They've got 1 game a week. How do you think Leicester's gonna, you know, finish the end of the season?
I think they're gonna finish second. I hope they win it. Because it's just too much to ask for them to just leapfrog Liverpool and the strength they have. Fortunately, but if I'm hoping, I would hope that they'll be able to do it. But that's a big hope, to be honest with you.
Well, alright. Well, that was a quick shout out for Leicester. I'm not really gonna thing on that. I'm not gonna stay on that too long because Saturday afternoon, you know, let me even like kind of draw it out this way. So basically, when Man United had Villa and who else did they draw against? Sheffield United, yeah? I said we needed to win these 2 games because the next 2 games after that is Tottenham and City. Trust Man United to draw those 2 games that I'll say we must win. And the 2 games that I writ off, they won. Coach.
Where's Tabs? He's not coming today. Anyway.
Why are you shouting for Tabs though?
Tabs is all this Ollie out and all that sort of stuff. Listen, I've said it before in previous podcasts where United, we're not a proper team yet. We're a decent team. We're not a proper team. A proper team gets rid of the Sheffield Uniteds and Aston Villas and then nicks points off the top 6. That's what a proper team does. But we're just doing it the reverse way because when we play against the top 6 sides, we're always underdogs. When we played against Mourinho's Spurs, we were underdogs. No one expected us to... A draw at best, people were talking about. City, no way no one expected us to win at City. No way. Especially at the Etihad. No one expects that. But we're underdogs. We like the underdog role. But when we need to get into that mode of beating these small teams. But listen, you got to play who's in front of you, and he got 2 wins out of 2, and I think that's gonna give him some more breathing space, as in like a few months breathing space. I think if he had lost against Spurs,
That's what I was gonna ask
and
you
then
just now.
lost against City, I personally feel it would have been unnecessary pressure, because I've been saying it's unnecessary pressure since Poch got sacked. Here comes the unnecessary pressure coming from fans. We need to go and get Poch. We need to go and get Poch. All that. It would have been every week.
Yeah.
But the fact he's won those 2 big games is now showing everyone, listen, there's some substance into what he's doing. Because the way our team is constructed right now, especially that central midfield, we should be doing nothing against Spurs and nothing, especially against City, with world-class centre midfielders they have. So it's well done to Ollie, innit?
Kev, how do you think the racehorse has done these last 2 games? Because Rashford.
You're not asking me.
No, I'm asking you because I'm asking Kev. You know what it is? No, I'm not referencing you. I'm not saying you because obviously I'm indirecting coach here. Coach is obviously named. He's obviously named Rashford the racehorse. You know, but we've obviously seen. We've also seen the fans. A lot of fans get onto Rashford. I've been seeing on social media. Fans are getting onto Rashford. He was obviously given that the central road, and obviously Martial came, but we didn't replace Lukaku. Rashford got the new contract. Everyone was expecting him to saying you have to deliver now.
Was it deserved?
Say that again.
Was it deserved?
I thought it was excessive the payment the contract. However, though Rashford recently, can someone check how many goals he's got? He's got 10 in the league, yeah, 10 in the league. Was that?
10 and 4 assists.
I mean, penalties or not, he's turning up. I mean, Tottenham on Wednesday again at the Etihad.
Deserving his own penalties, though, isn't he?
But how do you think Rashford's done though?
I think he's found a gear that we were hoping that he would have found with the progression that he came onto the scene with. I feel like he's found a gear that we were hoping he would have found just a little bit earlier. If you look at you could have like a line graph of what he started off doing. This is a natural progression for what we expect Rashford to have been doing because of him.
We've been here before with Rashford. So are we saying he's finally found that gear, or he's going through a good patch? Because we've seen this before.
I'm a bit confused in terms of what.
Me personally, I think I always say form is temporary. Yeah. Class is permanent. I don't think he's a class player yet.
Yeah.
I think he's in
That's
form.
the point I'm trying to say.
That's
what I'm trying to say.
Okay,
is
yeah,
it just a player in form, or has he really found that next level?
I can definitely say with his age and what he's not even developed into his own physical body yet. He's like what Rashford's gonna become, like in terms of his pace, his power, the power of his shot,
Football brain.
and development. He's not reached what we can get to where you turn around and start questioning. Remember the days when people used to say, Walcott, what is he gonna be? Is he hit his potential? Are we realizing has he realized his potential, or was he always a mediocre player with an amazing ability, which was phenomenal pace? Whereas Rashford is showing that no, it's not just pace. There is a skill set that's available to him, and if he puts it all together, we don't know what he can become, because I know the minimum that he can become if he puts it all together on a regular basis is world class. Don't you agree with the skill set you're seeing? If he puts it all together on a regular basis, he will be world class.
I just don't think he has the IQ, and I don't think he'll ever have the IQ to be a world class player. I think he's got the ability to be a very good player, but in terms of world class, like even the Hazard sort of level, and I just don't think he'll reach that point.
Do you see where I disagree? Okay. Because I feel like his game, luckily, because of the skill set he's drawing from, the pace and everything, is simple. It's literally easy. He gets the ball, his dribbling's okay, he creates space for himself, then he has an amazing shot, and he just tests the goalkeeper. So if that is his skill set he's drawing from, he doesn't need the IQ of the Juan Matas and that where they need.
Especially if he's gonna play out on the left. If he's gonna play on the left, he's gonna get the ball front to goal, basically facing goal.
This is what I'm saying. When you come up against the real good teams, who now, if Rashford's on a bit of form, they will key into him. No one's really keen into no players at Man Utd. You got to take him out and you take United out, or you got to take him out. We don't have players like that right now. We don't have them with that class. But if he continues his form, you will have teams saying, yo, he's playing on the left. Like Kev just said, he's doing the simple things. He's cutting inside and he's shooting. So guys, force him down the left. And when you start forcing Rashford away and away and away from goal, and make him think to do something else, that's where he struggles. When it's time to think, he struggles. When he's in tight spaces, to me, he struggles. But when it's instinctive, like you said, cut inside, bang. Cut inside, do this, or get the ball, kick it, run. When it's instinctive, that's Rashford's game. When he has to think and someone keys in on him, which I think teams will start doing if he keeps up the form, that's when I want to see if his class actually comes through.
I'm gonna special shout out to Wan-Bissaka, Fred, and Fred.
Say it again.
I can't even believe it. Fred, well done. Fred got so busy yesterday.
I told you.
And McTominay.
And exactly, who did you say? Because I'm getting straight to this guy.
And McTominay.
Yeah, the reason I'm coming to you, Kev, is I think you got a confession to make.
Ask me again.
No.
And McTominay.
So do you want to confess what you were saying about? Obviously, it's documented what you felt about McTominay prior.
I never expected it. I never expected it at all.
So you finally see now what other fans are seeing.
I'm even still. I've seen it and I don't believe it.
But seeing what? Someone explain.
For me, and I've said this before, is I've said it again and again. I feel like for his age, he's got the right temperament. He knows what it is to play for the club, and also Michael Carrick is working with him. I'm seeing kind of the front, like playing through the lines. We didn't win the game. I don't think there's a stat that we haven't won a game this season without him in the team. Yeah, I'm not saying he's a world beater, but at his age, for what he's becoming, he is going to be. Ollie said in the week, before the Tottenham game, McTominay would have fit right in with our Fergie team. Maybe he's not referring to quality, but I think he's talking about just the way McTominay doesn't pull out of challenges. He's always standing up to be counted, basically.
He's a new age Darren Fletcher sort of thing.
Well, even if that's the case, Darren Fletcher was a die-hard player.
Let me say something I never only till maybe this season have actually realised. Maybe last season I kind of thought, but this season I've realised that DM position is not a joke. And it's because in theory, it's very simple. There's not
Screening,
to do much. The discipline that is, the lack of discipline maybe I'm seeing from teams all across the country where the player just do your job and just keep to that job and don't get sucked in. If your team's performing well, still don't get sucked in. Remember that you have a role in the team and just perform that role and protect your team. Because there will be a point where you'll be tested and you will need to be that, you're the shield. Don't let it drop because you're getting excited with we're 2-0 up or we're 3-0 up. He, at that tender age of 21, 20, he already knows that.
He's got the temperament, I'm telling you.
This is what I need to do. Oh, Rashford and Martial, when they're doing their
thing. Let me ask you something, because you guys are United fans, yeah? I'm a United fan as well. So what would you be your preferred formation? Just moving forward, what's your preferred? It doesn't matter what players we got. What formation would you like to go?
For me, it's 4-3-3.
If we had, what about you?
I think I agree 4-3-3, but I think it changes.
No. I'm just saying, what would you prefer? If we had a good squad, what would you prefer? What formation would you play?
4-3. 4-2-3-1. You know.
Okay, so you say 4-2-3-1. Would you have McTominay in your starting three?
Right now,
I'm saying if Oli goes into the market and he has to go and get 2 or 3 centre midfielders, which he might have to do moving forward. With Pogba going out, that's another one down, and we already needed reinforcements with Pogba. Would you have McTominay in your starting 3 if we're going for a title?
No.
Would you have McTominay in your starting 2 holding midfielders if we're going for a title?
No.
So this is my point in McTominay in terms of he's doing well for what level we're at right now.
Yeah, like you said, Darren Fletcher, he wasn't a starter at every game, but there was games he came in.
Definitely a squad man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And surrounded by top quality players and the right mentality players, McTominay can obviously raise his game.
He's young enough to do it as well. Like, he's young enough. You never know what he could develop into.
Come back to me. I said no, but you know what? Yeah, I'm appreciating consistency. And these guys that are at a higher level, they are not doing what McTominay is giving me 7 out of 10 every single week.
I never thought I'd hear Kev talk like this.
Pissed off. Like it got to a point I have to accept what this guy. He proved me wrong, and in proving me wrong, he also showed me something that I'm not seeing. You know what McTominay is going to get, bar injury. McTominay is going to give you a certain level of performance every single game without fail.
Against Arsenal, he was your best midfielder when you lot played against us. I was actually like, yeah, this kid is, and you can tell by his attitude as well, his application. He doesn't play like, like a young. He's got that mentality that you need to play for a top club.
I compare him with Guendouzi. Like I think they both came up kind of similar time, but I feel like their age range and the same position as well. I just always compare the two.
Guendouzi is different. Guendouzi is, how can I put it? Guendouzi is just not ready yet, but he's been made. He's got the right mentality, but skill set wise, he doesn't even know his strengths. He's just doing he's just freestyling.
So you know what I see with Guendouzi, but this is a weird one. I feel like Guendouzi's got he's got a bigger skill palette to pick from, and because of that, he's confused. He don't know. McTominay is simple, and he just
knows what he's doing.
Knows what to pick from.
And I bring it back to McTominay, and I'm not as high on McTominay like other people are, for the simple fact that for where we are right now, from what Ollie wants to produce and that, he's reaping the rewards from us not splashing and going and get 6-7 players in a transfer window, just getting 3 players here, maybe 1 here, 2 here. Within that time, he's getting the match time. With Pogba being injured, he's getting more match time. With Herrera going, Fellaini going, he's getting more match time and whatnot. So he's reaping the rewards of consistent game time.
Wait, you know that question you just asked me, yeah, about what they're starting? I'm actually thinking about it now, yeah. Like, if you asked at one point a Liverpool fan, would you start Hendo? He's basic. If you brought in the top players, I'm only saying this because, yeah, sometimes I think you said it the other day. There's players that you need that they might not be the best, but there's the Hendos, there's the players that are just in your team because they know what it means. The Keanes,
James Milners, the Hendersons, the Roy Keanes, even down to Roy Keane's days. What was Roy Keane like ability wise? Oh my God.
No, I know what he means. But
what Samo even said is he can develop into that. Yeah. Because the mentality is so solid, he could develop into delivering what working. And Fletcher wasn't far off it before he got that that very mad injury that he received. I feel like he was just touching that road where his mentally wise, what he went into the game with, it was so effective to the team. It was just lacking just a little bit of quality.
For me, to wrap up this McTominay talk, I think he's been overblown for the simple fact that when he plays against players on his level, he don't shine. When he plays against players that are better than him, that's when he does his work, because he's coming in as an underdog. Same, it's basically like the whole team. But when McTominay's playing against Grealish, them sort of guys in the middle and whatnot, he don't excel. And that's your level of players that you should be going up and saying, you know what, I'm better than Grealish. I'm playing for Man United. I'm that step above. But he doesn't do that. Or if he's playing against I don't know, it might have been I'm just going off. Crystal Palace, what's his name? Mihailovic, whatever. Them sort of players, he won't stand out in them sort of matches because they're the sort of mans that do the same thing McTominay does, and some of them have a little bit even more talent than he does. So right now, I think judging McTominay on what's going on right now, I'm gonna hold fire. So even though he's done all right, I would prefer if McTominay was dominating the Mihailovic's, the Grealish, them sort of midfielders in the smaller teams than he's doing against De Bruyne. That's fine.
Alright, cool. Before we wrap this United talk up, did you see the video that I posted in the group? Kev, you saw it, yeah? We're gonna quickly touch on what Rashford said about Ollie. Now, we've seen that there's some fans that want Ollie out. They wanted Ollie out before this whole kind of rival, and they wanted Poch in. Rashford was talking to Gary Lineker in an interview, and he said, we're playing into what Ollie wants for the team. he was a player here before. He knows what it feels like. You know, he can relate to the players, and he was saying that the previous regimes, the manager was too worried about what the opponent's gonna do, rather than what their strengths are and what they're gonna do.
But Rashford's rubbish. Rashford's talking nonsense because at the end, I'm Ollie in, so I'm objective here. At the end of the day, most of the games that we've played this season or whatnot, United fans have been complaining about the football. Same way they can be complaining about Mourinho. United fans will complain about, why can't we break down these small teams? Same when Mourinho was there. Or why are we playing counter-attacking football with James and Rashford on the wings? It's the same as Mourinho. What Rashford is just doing is just making sure that his manager stays.
Yeah, that's what I was going to get to.
That's all he's doing.
That's what I was going to get to.
That's all he's doing. All that nonsense he's talking about, he gets us. What's that got to do with coaching and tactics? And it ain't got nothing to do with. He can know the place from head to toe.
But wait, so you don't agree that Van Gaal and Mourinho were setting up the team up to make sure they cater to the other team rather than play to their strengths? I agree with that.
No, but what I'm saying...
Yes or no, though? Do you agree with that?
Yes, but what I'm saying is Ollie's doing the same thing. He's playing counter-attacking football, which means that the other team come to...
No. It's a different thing. Bro, Rashford used to play right wing back.
Listen.
No.
Listen, stop with this. This is what I'm saying. A lot of United fans, they want to pick and choose. Every winger in world football, I've seen Mane play right back. I'm not
talking about tracking back. I'm talking about I've seen Rashford live in a 3-5-2. He was playing wing back.
Okay, but what I'm trying to say is that him coming out, and saying what he's saying right now is just covering his manager's back. That's all he's doing.
No, but there could also be truth to what he's saying, because I'm one of the people that I do agree that Man United used to set up.
How is Ollie playing to our strengths?
Yesterday, Etihad.
No, that's not. Listen, that's not to our strengths. We're underdogs.
No. But the strengths are. What's the strengths of Man United right now? Our defense.
No, quick play. How you see what?
Okay, so isn't that not playing to your strengths then?
What I'm saying is that why is that not effective against the little teams?
Because teams break down.
Okay, no.
Teams put 2 banks of 4 and you got to break them down.
So when we were whacking up Cardiff and all that stuff, 4-0 and...
That was away from home. It's different away from home.
I'm not talking about just...
I'm talking about the home games.
I'm not just talking about Cardiff. I'm talking about when Ollie first come in, he was playing the small teams, yes? That's why he had that run of games when they said, you got 5 or 6 games and they're winnable. He won all those games.
And also they had the record for most away wins.
Okay,
the away games.
But what I'm saying... Go on, Tom.
The Pogba effect. Pogba, we got rid of Jose, and Pogba said, "You're gone, yeah? All right." And Pogba had a Mazzolini. Do you not remember?
Cool.
Pogba went crazy.
Cool, but regarding this though, Manchester United under Van Gaal and Mourinho, I can categorically say I used to watch every match, and come on, Kev, you're one of the fans that you used to say we used to basically worry about the team too much, the opponents too much. I'm not saying Oli doesn't do that now, but like I said, Etihad, we could have played 5 at the back. Yeah, and said we got to worry about Kev and De Bruyne on the ball. We got to worry about the wingers. Play deep and just hold compact. Park the bus. No, he knew that they were susceptible to the counter attack, and he played to our strengths. So that's what I'm talking about.
So is it playing it to our strengths when we play the little teams and we're still playing counter attack football? Is that playing to our strengths?
But what I'm trying to say, when you're playing 2 banks of 4, is a different way of playing.
But you can't make excuses for 2 banks of 4. Are we playing to our strengths or are we not playing to our strengths?
I think we're playing to our strengths, and when we can't play to our strengths is when we struggle.
What's our strength?
Counter-attack football.
Okay, so when we're playing the smaller teams, are you telling me that's the right thing to be doing?
We're not playing counter-attacking.
You don't have the pieces for him to do anything else.
Okay. Thank you. Right now, the players, we don't have a Bruno Fernandes or a James Maddison that can unlock defenses at home when the team has parked the bus.
Hold on, this is why I'm getting confused, because you got a lot of United fans or whatnot saying that we're struggling against these smaller teams and this, that, and the other. But then when we beat City and Spurs and all that sort of stuff, all of a sudden Ollie's playing to our strengths and this, that, and that's a contradiction.
Coach,
that's
listen,
a contradicting thing.
When a
so
team,
are we playing counter attack every match now?
No, because you can't, and that's why we struggle at home, because we don't have another way of playing.
So that's what I'm saying. When he says he's playing to our strength,
but United under Jose, whether it was at home or away, we were never on the front foot. We were always.
What do you mean we were never on the front foot? Guys, let's not put Mourinho in this bucket that everyone just puts
LVG as well. I put LVG in there as well.
Because at the end of the day, the guy came here, whatever you want to call it, the Mickey Mouse Cup, whatever, he won trophies. So that's what I'm judging a man on. I'm not Ollie out, not at all whatsoever. But let's just calm down.
The original question anyway was basically is Rashford showing that the players wouldn't even want Poch in right now. They want, because Rashford said in that same interview, we don't want to do this whole rotation.
I want to shut that down, that Mourinho thing down. You know why? And this is why I hated him. This partly okay. No, I hate him because of the way he went about the team and the way he managed the team and the way he just, it's like my way or the highway. And that, eventually it was go highway. He had players, you know. He had everything, basically everything that we have at our club. The players we lost, Lukaku, top striker, he scores goals. Fellaini, a great aerial weapon. Herrera, a good midfielder. And then somehow out of Jones, Smalling, and Bailly, he somehow, even though they were all injury-prone players, he somehow got 2 of them to play every week. And somehow we got to the final and we won the we won the cup, and we got something out of it. Now, Ole's doing it with less. We've got one defender. We signed one defender, one right back, and Daniel James. Yeah, like a young potential who's just got raw
Couple
pace.
injuries. He has to play Pereira in midfield.
And he's still pushing, and he's still playing a brand of football which you can see is better. Is better than what Jose was doing. It's more positive. And I feel like if you just maybe, because at the same time I said I was frustrated with the way he was some of the decisions, the tactical decisions in the game, because I'm not happy with the players he's swapping it with. So when I see Martial come off, I get upset because I'm like, there is no one to come and do it. Like, that is one of the best players, and the drop down is so bad. I'm like, so what are we trying to do here? And I'll be like, Martial is the best striker at the club, and then there's a drop down before you get to another striker at the club. That's what pisses me off. So I like. With Solskjaer, it's very much of let him bring the players in, and then let's see what's going on. But I do get frustrated at times, like I was the last time we were playing, about why are you making these substitutions when we don't have the players to do them?
But anyway, yeah, man.
Basically, what I'm trying to roundabout way and say is basically Rashford is vouching for the guy he likes. That's why he's doing so many interviews about we love Ollie, we this Ollie, and all that sort of stuff. If that's what he's saying, cool. I'm Ollie in, so if he does that, I'm cool with it anyway.
The reason I would say Ollie's staying for now is because the players are playing. Like they're feeding into what he wants to do. So why change it? But yeah, Dash, Man City, boy, because as well as United played, City just, I don't know what's going on, boy. Like, in terms of the title race, they are now 14 points behind Liverpool. Yeah. Is it done now?
Yeah. I just think that Liverpool are just on this roll. Do you know what I mean? It's just a roll. You know, like when Leicester City were on a roll, Liverpool are on this unstoppable train, and they're heading for the title. And yeah, City have just lost. It happens. Like, they're still a great team, but they've just lost that edge. You know, maybe Laporte and the fact that Fernandinho's playing in defence has just sort of tipped them off balance, and they've just lost their mojo. You can't just. It happens, innit? Yeah. To the best team. So it's just what it is.
I think, unfortunately for City, which is quite surprising, knowing the setup that they have over there at that club, they never look for a plan B this season. Like, they literally went all in for Maguire, and that was it, really. They literally went all in. I thought, you know what, is Maguire going to pick United? Yeah, I know the money's there, obviously, at United, same as us. But look at the brand of football that we play. It's kind of similar to Leicester in roundabout ways. Like, we play from the back, this and that. We're quite comfortable. We need someone aerially. We'll come and tell him, like, listen, company's going. We want you to be the next figure, this, that. I think they were banking on that so much that it kind of flopped for them, because obviously you can never foresee injuries. You can never see Laporte getting injured and whatnot. Yeah. But I think that they didn't plan well in terms of company leaving. They didn't plan well.
They thought Maguire would be a good option to come in, but they must have thought, like, if we, do you know what I mean? Like, and
you felt like that at the time.
Yeah,
like,
if we can get him, we can get him. Like that, yeah. But if we can't get him, we're not gonna. You know, they've
said that. They said it. We're not gonna break the bank.
What I'm saying, they've said it as much as they said it, but Pep has never had too much faith in Stones and the Ottomendis of the world. Even in the past, he's had to bring Company back. Don't forget, Company was supposed to be gone before, you know, but he come back and played so well and done the captain thing, and that Pep started realizing, you know what, when it comes to this English league thing, you need the Companies out here. He might not play the football that I need him to play at the back, but in the Premier League, on a cold day or an away ground and that, you need Company out there. So for me, I don't think they've prepared well for Company leaving. But obviously, like I said, they didn't foresee Laporte's injury, which has been massive as well. So Laporte and Company gone, that's massive.
He's an emotional leader. He's very much an emotional leader. Even if he doesn't do anything, he can come and score a good header and just lift the entire team with off a corner or cross.
Players like that are hard to replace. And I just think there's a shortage of top quality centre-backs out there. Like,
Of that cloth.
mold as well. Because City don't just look for a good, strong, solid defender like most clubs would. They need a ball-playing defender, comfortable with the ball as well. And those kind of defenders are, you know, they're hard to come by.
Me personally, I'm surprised City hasn't played three at the back more this season. I'm very surprised they haven't played three at the back more, because if you're not totally sold on Otamendi and Stones being a partnership or someone like that, or you have to even put Fernandinho at the back, realistically you want to play a three, because Fernandinho's missed in that middle. He is missed. No matter how old he gets and whatnot, he's just missed, and you can see
He's the best for me. He's the best defensive midfielder in the league, hands down. And he's playing centre back. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like he's so wasted there, but he's such a good player that he does a decent job there. But he's if just give me Fernandinho. Like, if I won the lottery, like, even despite his age, just to have him for one season or two is worth it. He's that good. Like,
So is it basically a thing where Pep is just gonna go for Champions League, Klopp is just gonna go for the league?
I don't think they're gonna. I don't think. I mean, you can't cave in the league like that and whatnot. To me, it's all about just stopping Liverpool, innit? Like, that's what for them right now. City, if Liverpool are a top team, they're out of it. That's how I see it. If Liverpool are a top team, City are out of the race. The only people that are in the race are Leicester. They're the only people, and they're still 8 points behind. They're the only ones in the race. So if Liverpool are that top team that we think they are, can't believe I just said that.
So
but yeah, I think that they are. 14 points is way too much for anyone to be catching them up. Simple.
So do they do a lot in January then?
Who's that?
City.
I think they need one defender, but like you said, who's out there in January? Big imposing defender that plays ball.
what's his name? The obvious name, the Napoli defender. What's his name?
Koulibaly.
Is he good with his feet? Is he that good with his feet?
I don't
He's
think
an
he's that
old
bad.
school,
Yeah.
solid defender, but he's not a ball player. Like, it's hard. It's just hard to find that
He's
mode.
a Samu Kufor. Them sort of man there
But
back in
if
the
you
day.
put, but hold on one second.
Mandela.
If you put Fernandinho back in midfield as the DM, can't you get away with just a solid defender that wins the ball and just passes it to his DM? The old school way. The old school way that used
That
to.
old school way, is that what Pep wants to do?
No,
Because
but
Pep usually
you can still win with that style though. They've got so many other creatives.
Yeah.
Why does the centre mid? Why does the centre back need to be another creative?
Yeah, it starts from the
starts
back.
from
We've
the
seen
goal.
Arsenal, man. Like Arsenal, that
Arsenal
sometimes
are trying to
when they
do
try to
that.
play out from the back, you can see sometimes they get caught in the ball. So, but yeah, man, that's a good segue. Arsenal. Dash, how did you feel when Emery was sacked at the time? Obviously, I'm sure. Let me not talk for you, but how did you feel at the time when Emery was sacked?
It was bound to happen. It was inevitable. That it is what it is, isn't it? He wasn't doing his job. He was doing a very bad job, so he had to go. Plain and simple.
Did you expect a new manager to come in the next morning the way Tottenham got Mourinho in, like, you know, quick turnover?
Yeah, if we have a proactive board that care about the club and take decisions for the benefit of the club, yeah. But at Arsenal, we know that's not the case, isn't it? And that's part of the bigger picture of the bigger problem that Arsenal have. We don't have a board that care really, or an owner, should I say, that care about the club, that is invested in terms of what the Premier League is and what Arsenal are doing in the Premier League.
And who Arsenal are?
Who Arsenal are, exactly. Like, if the board or the owner of a club was a fan of Premier League football and a fan of Arsenal, he would understand what's really happening at the club, and he would understand that decisions need to be made at certain times. But he's just oh, what's going on? I heard they're making noise over there. Send his son to go find out why they're making so much noise. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then he will see what's going on. Oh, is that what's really happening? And then a decision will be made. Everything is reactive and not proactive, innit? So it doesn't surprise me. That's Arsenal. That's how we've been operating for the last 10, 15 years. It is what it is, innit? So,
Coach.
For me as well with Arsenal, don't forget, a lot of people forget this point. But this is the first time they hired a manager, you know. This board.
What do you mean?
This is the first time they've had to hire a manager. I'm talking about when Emery came in.
yeah.
It's their first time that they've had to hire a manager. They don't know about the process. All they know is Wenger. That was there when they bought the club. Or when they invested 60%, when Kroenke invested 60%, when Usmanov was there. So they don't even know the process of getting a manager. So a lot of people talking about, oh, the board should have this and that, this in play. These guys don't know how to do it. They don't know how to do it.
Surely you can't be that incompetent, man. There's a protocol that.
But what I'm saying is that these Josh Kroenkes and all that, they're just businessmen.
They're not football person to do the...
They're not football guys.
Raul Sanemi is a football guy.
Edu?
Edu's, yeah.
But who pays them?
Yeah.
So let's say he's the person making the decision. So then we can just... He's the one making the decision. So obviously he's the one that can, you know, push the... Like, where I'm gonna be the one to go out there, find the person, the manager that we want to employ for Arsenal Football Club, and then take it from there.
No, I get that. But just continue with Arsenal. I think it's the first time they've actually had to employ a manager. They got it wrong. Yeah, they got it wrong. They picked their C or D choice in Emery and whatnot. But now for me, I think they're doing it the right way. As much as people don't want to hear that, it's not a knee-jerk reaction in terms of they thought Emery would make it to the end of the season. That's what they were hoping for. They were hoping for Emery to at least make it to the end of the season. Don't get Champions League, release you for free. Then we can start the process. I believe that the person that they want, I firmly believe the person that they want does not want to come in now. I feel they want to come in the summer. The problem is, the fans ain't gonna have that. If you keep
Bloomberg can't carry this on.
That is?
who
Who do you think?
Let's ask Dash. He's the Arsenal
who
fan.
would you like it to be, and who do you think it is?
I have a sneaky feeling it's Mikel Arteta. That's my feeling that because I think that's who they wanted at first, but they were shocked of making that decision, and they thought it almost feel like they kind of pulled back last minute, like what if he just becomes a total disaster?
They're looking at Oli. They're looking at Oli.
No, with the Arteta thing, it wasn't necessarily that. It was the Mislintat thing. Don't forget, Mislintat came in knowing that he's buying the players. And Mikel Arteta's not coming from a structure like City to come and do a structure like Arsenal's, where Mislintat is buying the players and I have to coach them. So if I don't want them, I don't think they're needed, you want me to coach them, and then when they don't do well, you're going to blame me. No one's going to blame Mislintat. You're going to blame me for not coaching them properly.
Wait, who do you want it to be?
But who I want it to be, I wouldn't mind him. Arteta is a big risk. I get it, and I would love.
No, who do you want it to be?
Listen,
who do you want it to be?
This is my point, yeah.
Because I know who you want it to be.
This is
put it on tape.
you don't know who I want it to be.
Yeah, you said it.
Listen, yeah. Where I'm conflicted, yeah. I'm gonna sound like I'm sitting on the fence, but hear me out. I want the Mikel Arteta approach. That's the approach I want. I'm not saying I want Arteta. I want a young, progressive coach that's gonna come and build us up.
New ideas, maybe.
New ideas, build us up from ground up. Young players, all of that. The problem is, I don't like a top. My problem with Arsenal is that we don't have the structure to support a big name manager, a manager that's going to come and demand,
transfer funds.
We don't have that, because an Allegri is going to come and say, I want that. I don't care. Don't tell me how much it is. That's what I want to get you guys to where you want to get to. That's what I want. And that's not going to happen at Arsenal, innit? So I'd rather we go for the long-term approach.
Now, Coach, this long-term approach, that Dash is referring to, in this day and age, with something called Arsenal Fan TV around, is that even possible?
But what's wrong
for
with
the long?
TV? What's that got to do?
No, I mean, Arsenal Fan TV, whether you like or not, they're very powerful. And with the whole social media age, with just everyone looking at results and not looking at the bigger picture, yeah, they're obviously going to be fans on Arsenal Fan TV. With after a couple bad results, they might want this new manager out. They might not be trying to get the patient thing. So can the patient game that Dash is talking to work with the?
I don't think even Arsenal Fan TV are powerful like that. It's just if Arsenal Fan TV are driving what's going on, then you've got a soft board anyway. You've got a soft club. It's what happens on the pitch that drives Arsenal Fan TV. So it's never the other way around. Like
What I'm saying is, like we've been seeing, I'm not going to take it back to United too much, but with the Oli thing, certain people can see what he's trying to do. Certain people are saying these results are not good enough. Some people want him out, some people don't. So I'm saying with that at Arsenal, with the whole... So that's what I'm saying.
So with me, I think Arteta would be the right appointment because, like you said before, the big managers want probably a decent checkbook. He will come in there. I think with Arteta, he's a man that probably just wants power over transfers. He will know what the budget is and he will go out there and make it work type of thing. But you have to give him the soul... I'm going to bring my players in. If you tell me the budget's 100 mil for the summer and I have to go and buy a player for 30 mil, 15, this, that, I will buy the player. I'll know the budget's there, but I want to bring in my own players and start this up again and whatnot. And I think he's the perfect guy to come in there and do it. And he'll blood the young players, etc., etc. And for me, it will be a good start where Arsenal... need to build their foundation because they need to build some foundation. They can't defend, blood. They can't defend. Like I don't know how many years it's been. I don't know what they do in the training ground. You brought Steve Bold in. He didn't do nothing. You brought this Spanish assistant in who's on all these videos online and what. He's not doing nothing. I don't know what you brought David Luiz in, Lampard's reject. He's not doing nothing. I don't know with the defender. I've always said with Arsenal, the defending starts from the front anyway. When you have crap defenders like they do, it has to start from the front. Don't really let the ball get to the back. That's the thing. But the front three, they're very imbalanced as well, Arsenal. The squad is very, very, very... It needs someone to come and clear out and say, you know what, Aubameyang and Lacazette, only one of you are playing today. Only one of you are playing. I don't care how big players you are. Only one of you are playing CF today. I'll look at in training. Whoever does it for me in training is going to play the match. It's as simple as... I need someone with that strong mentality.
But wait, regarding Aubameyang, actually, Dash. So Aubameyang's got 18 months left on his contract. He hasn't signed yet. Shout out Daps inside the info. Obviously, it could be a gas, but he's saying Aubameyang is not going to sign if Arsenal don't get Champions League. Knowing this current situation, everything I've just said now, what would you do? Would you cash in now, or would you use him and let him run out his contract and let him go for free?
Arsenal need to strap themselves in. It's peak right now. It's peak. Like, the mentality, the board, the powers that be at Arsenal need to be, we're starting from scratch. Essentially. And that means we might lose our best players, but we have to rebuild this club from the ground up. And if that means losing Aubameyang, then we have to lose Aubameyang.
No, you're going to lose Aubameyang either way. But I'm saying, that would you cash in now or let him go?
Peas for him. If we can get peas for him, then we need the peas. We're going to need as much peas as we can get. Because the way I see it, why is Aubameyang, the state the club is in, he's what?
He's in his prime right now.
Yeah, he's in his prime. He's 30, 31. He wants to win. He ain't won nothing in his career. And that's surprising. I thought he even won something at Dortmund. He didn't win.
Wait,
he didn't win nothing.
He won Bundesliga, no?
No.
Someone check that.
He came after Klopp. He didn't win nothing. He didn't win nothing. Wow. So he didn't win nothing at Germany to come here, and he must be sick of getting all this. Yeah, check it if you want to check it. He must be sick of getting all this accolades of being this top goal scorer with nothing to show for it. Do you know what I mean? So I don't see him staying. So if he is going to stay, we need to get peace for him, because we need to think about the future of the club, not individuals right now. Because the way things are at this club, we need to strip everything back, think about our plan, and build and push ahead. So if we can get money for him, cash in.
Boy.
Cash in.
Tough times. That
For me, just closing it out, or before Kev goes, I think even that's one of the problems there, where Arsenal fans are worrying about losing a player like Aubameyang. I'm sorry, but no. Listen. That's what I'm saying. It is what it is. They're at this stage where Aubameyang is at a different part of his career, and Arsenal Football Club are in a different part of their journey.
Thank you.
So let Aubameyang go.
Let him go.
Yeah, or whatever. and then start again. You have to just do it. You can't just keep, we need to get top 4 so Aubameyang can stay, or sign a new contract. We need to do this so Aubameyang can... You ain't got time for that. You're not in that position anymore. You've fallen so far back that you need to strip it back. Sell. You might have to sell the Lacazettes. You might have to sell the Aubameyangs to get that whole... The foundations in where everyone's on the same sort of level and working as a team. Yeah. Not just, I'm Aubameyang, so I ain't got to work from the front. I'm Lacazette, you lot just get me the ball. Like, you know how I do. Like, you can't have that mindset.
And one saving grace.
Let's not lie though, Aubameyang has saved Arsenal, boy.
If
not for Aubameyang, where would they be, mate?
It's just that's how bad it is that we're relying on one guy. It's that bad. And for Arsenal, looking forward, the only saving grace for Arsenal is that we actually have some young players there that I'm actually saying, okay, we've got something to salvage moving forward. I like Saliba. I think he could become a top class defender. I like Kirantini. I think he's going to be a top quality fullback. I like Guendouzi to some extent. I think there's good thing Guendouzi does, but there's a lot to his game that he needs to learn. I like Martinelli as well.
Martinelli,
and my one that I really like, and a lot of people I love Joe Willock. Okay. I think this guy, this kid here, has got potential to be a beast. I like his mentality.
Yeah.
I like his This kid doesn't care. All he needs is a coach to horn him, put their arm around him. This kid can become, and he scores goals. And he scores goals as well.
Lundberg likes him because he trained him in the under-23s. Yeah. So you put him in straight away. First team sheet and that.
Trust me, like,
he's put Willock in there.
That kid, yeah, I can sniff a top quality player in there. I can sniff it. So
I think, me personally, hopefully Freddie gets a job permanently in that. Like, just
I would love Freddie to get the job.
I'm Freddie.
Bro, I'm surprised at all of this Mikel Arteta talk, because he's not managed.
Say that again?
He's not managed, has he?
Okay.
Yeah, but what? Oh, you start at Arsenal. Is that how bad it is? He hasn't started.
He's the right hand man at City. He's not. But
No,
I think what Kevin's talking about is the hot seat.
Ole's even done hot seat somewhere. Like, it's not like he's done hot seat at least. How can your first job?
Wait.
Ever job?
Man City assistant
Arsenal.
or Mulder's manager. Come on, bruv. There's the same thing. It's not no difference there. It's that sometimes some managers have that. Bang! I can go in that hot seat and deal with the pressure. Some managers can't do it.
Pep came from the second team, the second reserves.
I'm gonna coach Messi now.
Yeah.
My thing is this, all these names, sometimes they will bring their own culture. They will bring Brendan Rodgers is in a job. He's in a top job. He just signed a new contract.
You said that was the guy. That was so when I said you know who you want. You've been screaming his name and you didn't scream him that time, so I was confused.
Because he signed a new contract, and I know that's wishful thinking. That's a dead end. That's done. You know what I'm saying? Brendan Rodgers. That's why I know what you were saying. But for me, Mikel Arteta, is someone that, when we strip the team in terms of players and everything, it's also the same with him, because he's brand new. We can build our future with him and say, what's your vision? And this is our vision, and align it together and build from the ground up, innit? Yeah. That's why the proposition of Mikel Arteta is...
I just think a lot of fans, man, I think Lundberg, you got it wrong, man. Because Lundberg could have come in, literally, no pressure. Like, look at what's been happening at the Emirates. You can come in now, a whole different system. Put your arm around guys like Pepe and say, listen, I was a winger as well. Now let's play like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, you could have changed it up, but he has done the same kind of, everything Emery's done, he's doing. He could have changed it up, gave it a new kind of kickstart, and he went with the same. And that's what happens when you bring someone from the backroom stuff, the same backroom stuff, because obviously it can never go both ways. It can be like a assistant manager that was there saying, this is dead, man. I would have done it this way. I would have done that way. Or you have the guy that agrees with what the manager was doing, and he obviously agreed with what Emery's doing, based on with the way that with the teams they're setting up.
What do you think?
Like, he's not part of the. He's not
was
really.
A mole.
He's
was
not
a
part.
mole.
He's not part of the
He was
Emery.
placed there.
Yeah, he came from the whole new Sanelli. It's because they got rid of Steve Bold. They demoted Steve Bold and they brung Freddie in and then promoted Freddie, because part of Arsenal's structure moving forward is to bring some of the young players through. True. So, and he was part of that process. Yeah. So they brought him into the first team to sort of be the link between the youth team and the first team. That's what Freddie's role is. Yeah. But like, I do agree with what Sam's saying. He's sort of doing what Emery's doing, though. That's what I'm a bit confused. Like, maybe... I don't know.
In what way has he doing
the tactics? The players is picking. It's basically
Pepe. You could have brought Pepe back in.
But what I'm saying is that he's been looking at Pepe.
Tierney's on the bench.
He's been looking at Pepe for a while, and let's just touch on Pepe just for a bit, yeah. Because Arsenal fans, you're hiding now. Yeah, you're hiding. I need to see you front and center about Pepe, because I said this from the beginning. Emery wanted Zaha. That's who he wanted. Arsenal did not want to pay. I went to the game Arsenal versus Crystal Palace last season, yeah, and he ripped Arsenal. That, yeah. And I even could tell from Emery in the summer when they were talking about transfers, and Pepe was basically a done deal. You know, he's all over social media, this, that, and the other. When he was talking about it, he didn't have a demeanor of someone that, yo, Pepe's coming in, yeah, that's my boy coming in, yeah, you know, we'll wait and see and blah blah. He was not doing that. Oh yeah.
If anything, I think the reason why they went for Pepe is because Palace wanted the 80 M's upright. They didn't want installments.
Leo took the 20 up front and said the rest are going to be installments. But that's what happened.
Fuck with Zaha have solved our problems. What would Zaha have done to remedy some of the problems and all the nonsense that Emery was doing?
Let me explain. Ow. With Zaha, he's another one that has a Willock mentality. He don't care. Whether you're playing left back or right back, if your name's not Aaron Wan-Bissaka, you're getting moved to. It's as simple as that with Zaha. And you need that mentality now of Arsenal. Plus, you don't really have no natural wingers like that as well, who can carry the ball and beat players.
And he's prem proven. Me, I'm one of the people saying I'm gonna give I'm giving Pepe a season. Yeah. I'm giving Pepe a season. I'm not gonna judge him yet because I watched him at Lille. He's a top player. I'm giving him a season. He's not doing it right now. But with Zaha, I agree. Zaha for me, I was worried.
Do you know what's happened to Pepe? He's come here and he's like, raw, Burnley are decent, bruv. Like, this ain't Strasbourg or Rennes or these sort of mans here, Armines, them sort of French teams. He's not playing against those guys. He's playing against Ben Mead and them sort of guys that are just up your arse straight away.
At the end of the day, we can say Zaha v Pepe. I don't care, innit? Like, teach the team how to defend. What's our shape? What's our formation? What were you like? The basics. Let's talk about the basics. Setting up the team. Correct. Is it 3 at the back? Is it 4 at the back? What were you doing, Emery? What
chopping and changing?
Something as an Arsenal fan. A lot of people obviously you blame Emery and whatnot. But who did Emery sign?
Whoever is there, I don't know.
This is what I'm saying about Arsenal fans. You ask them these detailed questions and they can't give you the detailed answer. Who did? I'm asking the question.
Unless you're in the club, how will you know? How will you know?
Even looking from the outside, who was he signing? Who do you think his signings were? Because don't forget, when he came in, Mislintat was there too. Yeah. Before Mislintat left, he made his signings. Okay. As in, like, even before he came, Aubameyang is definitely a Mislintat signing. Who else came? Socrates, what is that stat DNA thing they were talking about? He made the most tackles in Europe or whatever from Dortmund or whatever. I'm saying, who was Emery's players in that Arsenal squad? Who did he buy?
Okay,
who do you think he bought?
I don't know. Okay, just going off the bat, I can say he bought Kirantini. Okay, I can see that.
And Kirantini, you say he would start, right? So we're trying to get out with that point.
So basically, that's what I'm trying to ask Arsenal fans in terms of, I know the frustration of Emery. What's our formation? We can't defend this, that, and the other. But when I look at Arsenal's structure,
perfect. You know, I'm going to say that. Do you think Emery wanted David Luiz?
This is what I'm.
Do you think he said, "I've got defensive issues"? Last day of the window, David Luiz is the one.
This is what I think he said.
He's got a good point.
I want a defender. Mm-hmm. They said, bruv, A and B are too expensive, blood, yeah? But Frank said, listen, we can have him.
This cat D, we'll give you this cat D.
We'll just give you this for 8. Listen, did Emery really think David Luiz is going to come in and save your job? A professional like that's been playing for England for so long.
Isn't it Emery that insists on having defenders that can play from the back? So David Luiz is a player out there that we couldn't get our potential A and B or whatever. But
There's playing from the back and there's defending.
Listen,
David Luiz might be able to play from the back, but Arsenal's
you can
defense.
flip that point, and say that okay, it wasn't Emery's choice, but it could have been his decision because we know he's obsessed with playing from the back. So David Luiz could have been an option that that's a defender there that can play from the back. He's got experience. He's won the league, and Emery could say, "Oh yeah, get him in." Yeah. I've worked with him. I know about him, and Edu said, "Yeah, I know about him," and yeah, they could have mutually agreed. So let's not go there.
I personally think he did not want David Luiz.
I don't believe
Chelsea would never give you a player to strengthen you. No way.
I think there's only one player that's guaranteed that he wanted, and he didn't even get to buy him. It's on loan, which is Ceballos, who's been a flop too, because he's realised what English football is about as well. After Anfield, we ain't seen him again. Do you know what I'm saying? I think he's the only. That's why that's why when he knew that Ramsey was leaving, and they gave Ceballos the number 8 shirt, Spanish guy. I can see that connection there. Where Real Madrid said you can have him on loan. I like that sort of player. He likes to get on the ball, etc. I can see Emery saying, "Yo, I want Ceballos."
This is all speculation, isn't it? This is all speculation. We can sit here unless we know. It could have been a group decision. Yeah. It could have been part of the decision as well, the part of the process. We don't know, innit?
That's a final question. Did before when Emery was in his other clubs, was he operating under this system or did he have some power to make his own decisions?
He had no power. Sevilla,
he's never
clubs there. You don't have no power.
Okay,
you don't have those powers.
That's all I wanted to know. Because if otherwise he's been done dirty. But if he's never been used to it, then he should be used to this.
And the budget he's always had.
Look at his home. His away record has been shambles at Seville. He brung that over. He's just not that top grade manager.
He won 3 Europa Cups, you know. Yeah, let's not Arsenal. See what I'm saying about Arsenal fans? They forget where some of these managers come from, you know. So he's won 3 Europa Cups.
What do you do?
Your players failed against Chelsea, not Emery.
What do you do to end up in UEFA Cup? Is either you weren't good enough for the Champions League or you didn't make top 4. That's the only 2 ways you could end up consecutively in the UEFA Cup, innit? And his away record was shambles at Sevilla. He brought that over to Arsenal.
I'm gonna let Dash have the last word there. He's an Arsenal fan. Yeah, man. Let's. You know what? Let's go straight to the boxing, man. AJ, two-time. Boy. Kev, let's start with you, man. We watched it here yesterday. What were you thinking kind of during the fight with AJ's fighting style? And what do you think about the result overall?
I think he did what he had to do. I think he's developing as a boxer in terms of what is going to take him to the next level. I think he executed. Anyone that's got anything to say negatively, I'll turn around and say, listen, Floyd Mayweather made how many millions and had a great career doing the same thing.
Got all his bearings.
Yeah, he's got his all bearings. And the whole point, there's a sport called fighting, or the UFC, and there's a sport called boxing. The art of boxing is to hit and not get hit. So even if he does the boxing that he's supposed to be the world champion of, he did very well at what he's supposed to do. Don't get it twisted. I feel like if they boxed for a third time, he'll knock him out because he would have been confident. He had to get over a hump. There was a mental issue in that place where it's like questioning maybe himself, and he had to get over that. Now going forwards, we might see the AJ of old mixed in with this consciousness of, listen, I must be ready to box and I must be prepared to do 12 rounds at any moment given time.
I mean, they said he's one of 4 heavyweight fighters to win the rematch in the championship match. Ali was in there, Lewis is there, so he's up there, boy. But coach, how do you think he done?
Like Kev said, he executed the plan. I give him a 7 out of 10 because I think there was also, if you watch closely in the match, there's a lot of lapses of concentration in terms of he ended up getting suckered into his old ways of, I've hit him hard, bang, let me just go in there and finish. No. Yes.
That's the mandem in him. You can tell the mandem in him.
Like area nightclub, Watford, that's that sort of thing. Someone pushes you and all that, let me just run. So that's where it comes out of him sometimes, because certain times he would jab him, he would catch him with the right, but this is the time you need to get out.
He wants to follow up.
But he wants to follow up. And Ruiz is just waiting for you. Even when he wants to follow up and he tried to tie Ruiz, he's not tying him properly. So Ruiz is slipping out and trying to go with the overhand right. And I'm yelling at the TV. I'm just like, AJ, you're boxing this brilliantly. You're winning these rounds so convincingly with the long range, with the jab, and then when you hit him with the right, just bounce out.
Lennox Lewis style.
And even with the pivots and all that sort of stuff, when he's bouncing, if he looks like Ruiz is going to set his feet one way, bounce the other way. Just keep bouncing, because guess what? Everyone knew that 20 stone is not bouncing for 12 rounds. And you can tell that he won it so easily that it got to the end when Ruiz had to stop, stand still, and say, no, AJ, you come to me.
And AJ didn't come.
How's AJ coming in? That tells me you already know that you've lost. If you feel that you've won, why are you edging me on to come to you and swing it out?
Yeah, Dash. During the fight, obviously coach was saying he was bouncing about. I remember on the outside, and then shout out Dots, round 6, Dots said, boy, this bouncing around that he's doing, get me. The second half of the fight, they're only halfway. Is he gonna have the condition to keep up this game plan of the moving light? I was one of the people that said when he weighed in, that's the ideal weight for this fight, because I was confident that his conditioning was going to be straight. But what do you think?
Yeah. I agree. Like what he did weight wise, losing the weight was the right thing to do, because that extra muscle mass was definitely sapping his energy. And I noticed that as well. But I think when he got to round 7, I don't know, it's weird, because a lot of things could make you lose your energy. And it's not just physical, it's mental as well. I just think that he got to round 7 and maybe, I'm not saying it's the fact, but maybe flashbacks came to his head out. Hang on, I'm here now. And we all remember what happened last time in round 7. So I think maybe that could have played a factor into him seeming a bit sapped energy-wise. But the next round, he came back doing his thing again. So credit to him.
And I feel, as mad as it sounds and whatnot, Wilder will be an easier fight for AJ than Ruiz. I've said this time and time again, for the simple fact of how Ruiz is built. When any time in that fight, thing edged low, when he bent his knees, that's when Ruiz was catching him quickly, because he's got fast hands. When Wilder's the same height as him and he was doing that same technique, it would have been much easier for him, because we all know what Wilder's looking for. He's just looking for that one punch, and lucky for him, these recent fights, the one punch has been coming at the end of the day. But I feel that tactic that he used against Ruiz, if he used it against someone like Wilder, that's the IQ that I'm looking for against Wilder, because Wilder wants you to swing in there, and he knows he's got a harder punch than anyone in the division. So if you want to swing against me, I'll catch you, you'll go on the ground. But the thing about AJ, if he's got the IQ plus his power, because a lot of the times Ruiz was getting caught, other heavyweights would have went down, Other heavyweights would have went down. But that Mexican chin, it just tilted to the side and came back and whatnot. So for me, I'm saying for me, as weird as it does sound in terms of Wilder being that one-punch killer, AJ against Wilder will be more suited to AJ than AJ fighting Ruiz again. That's what I feel. Just styles make fights.
The reason I don't know if I fully agree with that is because I even asked this yesterday. With the way AJ fought Kev yesterday, would you say that game plan would have worked with Wilder, with what coach has said as well? That game plan that I saw yesterday, it looked good because Ruiz was a shorter fighter. He kept him at range. Wilder's the same height, has probably the same longer reach, as if probably the same. And we all know, come on, let's not lie. AJ did eat a couple shots yesterday. If that's Wilder touching you, it might be good night.
But this is where what Dash was saying. When that man them come, that's the one I'm saying. That's the only thing about AJ.
I don't think it's an easier fight, is what I'm saying.
No, I'm not saying easier.
No, what you
I'm
said.
saying the styles. I think that when you see...
you said easier fight.
It'll be an easier fight for him in terms of not just winning the fight. I'm talking about game plan. Just the styles and being the same height as each other.
And we know AJ does
Disagree.
And being the same height as you. Don't forget, you see when he's fighting Ruiz, he can't hit Ruiz to the body,
No,
The body is out of question. It's only that small peanut head that he's got that he can only hit. He can't hit nobody, because once you get low, that's when Ruiz is going to clock you. Where in terms of Wilder and whatnot, if you want to jab to the body, little jab there, just tap him there. He's the same height as you, so you don't have to crouch. You don't have to do that. Not saying that if Wilder don't touch his chin, he's going to go to sleep. Like he's got a harder puncher than Ruiz. We all know he's got a harder puncher than Ruiz. But I'm just saying easier into terms of easier to prepare for, basically.
Yeah, well, I was saying, I disagree completely, because Wilder has an unorthodox style, which if I sit here and I'm thinking of what would I say to Joshua that you need to prepare for Wilder, and I'll just say, you know what? I agree with Coach in the sense where the style he used is probably the safest way to prepare to. Period. Whatever you're doing, just start with that style. When you get the opportunities and the opportunities present themselves, then you can go in for the kill. Always have that in your mind. This is how I start my boxing matches. And when I get the opportunities, when you see the full wobble of the legs, then go in for the kill. But then in terms of if you're facing Wilder, what you're talking about with Wilder is an anomaly, because if it looks bad, still doubt yourself. If it looks like it's good to go in, still doubt yourself, because if he catches you, it's all over.
Yeah, Ortiz, perfect. 7 rounds. He was about to throw a punch before Wilder dropped him. You know what I'm saying?
If AJ was my man's, like one of my guys, I would turn around and tell him, listen, we avoid that guy at all costs until the end.
Yeah, that's not gonna.
You can fight Fury. You can fight many people because
that's not good advice for a man like that, because already there's no point even fighting Wilder. If you're gonna think like that, don't fight Wilder. That's like Amir Khan sort of. I don't want to fight Kell Brook to the end, and I'm. Listen, if Wilder presents himself, you just fight Wilder. Even if Wilder beats you, there could be another match.
If you're AJ now, I mean, they're even saying that he might drop one of the titles because due to the mandatory. Yeah,
is it Usyk?
I think it's Usyk, but what I think Usyk was going to be the next fight.
He said him and Hearn said in the press conference afterwards. They said AJ was like, we're fighting. We're gonna fight.
Yeah,
Usyk. I don't think they're gonna fight Usyk next. I think they're gonna fight Pulev next. I think
Who wants to see that?
But
the money's in the Usyk.
But
that's why
the money's in Usyk. But I think it's gonna be Pulev, because AJ needs another knockout. He needs to look good again. He needs to look good, and that Pulev name has been branded even before the whole. We knew he's gonna fight Pulev.
Baby Miller was supposed to be Pulev.
And when it comes to matchups, no one can't chat to AJ. Yeah. No one can't say AJ's had a soft schedule.
He deserves it.
The mans that people say that AJ's gonna get knocked out by, or the Furies and Wilder, look at their resume.
If you look at AJ's resume, 25 bro, he's got some big names on there.
So I think he's gonna fight Pulev, knock Pulev out to get that knockout. As part of the AJ brand, the knockout thing again to get that.
And what would you say to the fans, because there are going to be casual fans that are like, because we've seen it on social media. AJ, this new AJ, I don't know, he didn't want the smoke, and obviously he's boring or blah blah blah. What would you say to those ones? Because AJ wasn't talking like the skills to hit and not get hit before this fight. It was, I'm trying to entertain the fans. Now it's changed it to, I'm not trying to entertain the fans.
Did you see the video of him turning around and saying, after Fury defeated Klitschko, he said he ran for 12 rounds. He said came out and said in a video, I don't respect it because he ran for 12 rounds. And if you're gonna fight the champion,
slay the king, don't steal the belt.
Slay the king.
And then what happened? Was that before or after Ruiz?
Yeah, it was before Ruiz.
Sometimes you just get humbled like that. You just learn lessons, bruv, and you go back to the lab.
His life. He said he's learned lessons.
AJ's a baby, man. That's why that's why he ended up in this position in the first place, because his whole career has been rushed.
But it might be good for him. This would be good for him.
He needed this different scenarios that he's just never encountered before. He had to encounter the Ruiz anomaly to know what to do to fight opponents like this. So it was a blessing in disguise.
Can I shout out the Saudi Prince, blood? Because them guys, said at 7:30. No, this guy said at 8 o'clock. Eddie, listen, one of our locals are going to be fighting on the card, Some brother from Tanzania and some next brother just got flung on the card before the Asian.
4 rounds.
I was in tears, Samuel,
90 seconds.
I was in tears, because you know what it is? I was in tears because I told my boy when I was watching it, I said, obviously the 18-year-old is the star. Yeah. He's the one that they're trying to promote.
Yeah.
Once he hits this brother from Tanzania, when he hits the deck, he's not getting up. My boy's like, nah. He looks solid, man. He's got 8-pack of it. I said, bruv, watch what happened. How can you get flung on a card at 8 o'clock when the main event is at 9 o'clock? Who does that, bruv? The Saudi brother said, yo, Eddie, listen. My brother, this is happening. This is happening. You guys put your shorts on, get your gloves on. There's no drugs test or nothing. Let's just go out there and just swing. As soon as he got clocked, what happened? The brother laid there for 10 minutes. and then got back out, shook his hand, 200 bags, he's gone.
That's Arab money, innit? That's the Arab money, bro.
That's the Arab money. We do what we want when we want to do it. The Prince made the call. Eddie said, "Cool, fam. 66 million."
Sorry, was it lay down money? That lay down money.
It was lay down money.
He took the full.
But you know what happened? When he got clocked and he hit the deck, he stayed there, and then people trying to call the paramedics like it's a big thing. Like, yo, your man's laying here.
Oh wait, what? You thought it was fake?
No, I know it was fake.
What is it?
They
Oh no.
They brought the paramedics to say, "Yo, come here, quick."
I'm saying you think the knockout was fake. I just clocked what you're saying.
How
How do you think I meant my rollover money?
How can you get put on a card like that?
You don't get put on a card
Bruv, it's a 4-rounder and you're the fight before AJ. Who does that? You're supposed to be the first fight of the night.
But wait, you do know the guy that knocked him out was Mexican. I don't think he's one of the Arab people.
No, but what I'm saying is that don't forget the Arab people got a sports group as well. They've got a sports company, and he's part of that sports company. So if they just flung him on at 8 o'clock and just said, "Yo, you're coming."
Everyone
at
needs to
8.
see this, yeah.
So guess what? Guess what they did?
I don't know. I've got to see that again because I actually didn't see that bit. That fight.
You know what's so funny? They didn't tell Eddie at first because what would Eddie have done? 4 rounds? Oh, put him on at 6 o'clock or something like that. They made sure that everybody was viewing because don't forget AJ's fight was next after Povetkin. So everyone's now getting ready. Everyone's in their clubs. And they said, "Yeah, you guys, put your shorts on quickly. Yeah, get out there. The viewers are on." And man just took the lay down money.
Last shout out before we get out of here because we're going to round this up now today. Dylan White, he got cleared of any wrongdoing, no positive drug testing. You asked me a couple of weeks ago. I said they're investigating. They've investigated now, and he's been cleared.
I don't know. We don't understand the intricacies. Like what there's
Basically, he got tested for a B sample. He got tested. The B sample got leaked because usually when they get tested positive or whatever, they don't release the info. They do the further investigation. Then they say, okay, it's either he was or he wasn't. Someone's obviously tried to line Dylan up, and they've leaked. Huh?
It's on a WBC thing. Someone's last linked with the WBC, got wind of that B sample, whatever it was, and put it out there. That how can the WBC suspend him that quick without just quick? So once again,
without knowing the full details of the investigation and just
If anything, they would turn around and say pending a full investigation.
Yes.
These are the words that is usually associated with corporations. They just said no.
Why is Wilder so unwilling to fight?
Okay, that's another question.
Why? I don't get it.
Wilder boys, all you Wilder boys.
I did say I want Dylan to be the guy to fight Wilder because I feel like I feel like his whole makeup, he's how Wilder moves wild with it. Dylan is not exactly Dylan does the same thing. We're gonna have 2 wild ones swinging, and Dylan has enough power to trouble him.
Yeah,
listen,
I agree.
And if anyone from South London knows about his brother, they know about Dylan's brother. Yeah. And when Wilder came for his little appearance in South London, a couple months ago, or whatever, Dean went to see him.
The build up to that fight will be very messy.
We went to see him to chat to him and say, "Yo, you're saying certain things about my brother, but you can't just come to London and."
Yeah, this it'll get very messy.
Dean's man them for real. Dean's man them for real.
Yeah, but with Dylan White though, like, so you would reinstate him then?
Oh, 100%. 100%. Listen, they've come out with a statement and they say they don't usually do that. UK don't usually come out with statements or whatnot, but they've had to do it because it's got leaked. He's now been suspended by the WBC and whatnot, and he's been cleared.
So what they're saying is he should be reinstated. Yeah.
What went wrong?
With what?
In terms of the whole sample?
They haven't said anything. They just said he was negative. So they've had to put the egg on their face. Basically, he's negative. He's cleared of any wrongdoing. Yeah. But what with this though, they're saying he might get the winner of Wilder and Fury. They're saying if he's reinstated,
but it's only right though. Yeah. That's only right for him to get that to get both of them. It's only right, man. It's only right.
I gotta ask a question. I'm sorry for all you Wilder fans.
I'm a Wilder fan.
I respect Wilder's power and his right hand, and I rate him for that. Innit? This is not any judgment on him as a fighter, but I don't like him as a person. And I think he's an idiot, like business wise. My thing with all this Wilder fans, why do you guys ignore the fact, that he turned down the 120 million DAZN deal, and why do you fans act like that never happened? And when that ever comes up, you guys go back to the 50 million AJ deal, but you guys seem to act like that never happened when we know for a fact DAZN offered him that deal? And second question, don't you think that was a huge mistake? Because if he took that deal, potentially Wilder could be undisputed champion right now.
But he would get
No,
more
but
money now.
there would have been
He'll get more money now, though. The AJ fight. You're completely correct in terms of I think he should have accepted that money and whatnot. But now, lucky enough that AJ's lost and won it back, it's now made his value go higher. And now the Saudi money's now on the table now. Because Saudi are fully at the table
Conveniently,
Yes,
because
he got lucky.
AJ could have easily lost both Ruiz fights. He could have lost again. He could have lost.
And guess what?
And that would have been.
And you saying AJ losing Ruiz fight, I guarantee you, as soon as Ruiz won, the next day you would have seen Ruiz versus Wilder in February. You will see.
Wait. Is that fight ever going to be anywhere near going to be a fraction of how big a Wilder?
No. It's a
he gets all the belts.
He
gets all the belts.
Yeah, he gets all the
So
belts.
you have the bargaining power.
No,
You're the
he
champion,
gets all the
undisputed.
belts.
Let me ask his question because I can answer that clear.
He gets all the belts, yeah.
Is
But
that fight gonna be?
would that fight ever have been as big as AJ and Wilder?
100%. Because it's an all-American affair. The Mexican versus the black guy, and it would have done numbers in the US.
It's not about that. Yeah. Wait.
You're asking me that question.
Guys. You lot are talking about something else here. I think the bigger picture, the bigger play is
for
you would have had all the belts.
all the belts.
One face, one name, as you've been saying.
Okay.
Now come and talk to me. I want peas if I'm going to fight you. Like, in terms of AJ and all that.
So if you want to fight me, you have to come to Alabama if I want you to.
Yeah, but
But it worked out.
You guys are just like.
But it worked out, is what I'm saying.
It worked out, yeah, but you guys are just proving the fact. A duck is a duck. So he ducked.
No, he ducked.
He ducked. So why
100%.
doesn't Wilder ever get labeled as a ducker? Like, because if all these reasons, you're giving me reasons for why he ducked. But he ducked.
Because AJ ducked first.
AJ ducked first.
Yeah, he did. When they offered him the money on the table.
When who offered him? Who?
The 50 mil, man.
That's what Dash is referring
That's the
to.
reason why,
They
man.
offered him the 50 mil and they found that the 50 mil was coming from Frank Warren and BT Sport. What are you guys talking about?
And then it was an offer. It wasn't even an official offer. It was an offer sent from the fighter's email. Like, what kind of offer is that? But you guys don't want to look into that. But the one we know, that the zone's president himself even went to broker that deal for that fight and he turned it down. Giving a flimsy reason that he wants to know what AJ's earning. You guys choose to ignore that. It never happened. No, not our champion. It never happened. Why don't you guys give AJ?
I'm not on it. I'm personally. Are you? I don't think you are either. But we're not even in his corner like that. To say,
Bro, I just want the biggest fights. And I know Wilder's right now is
What Dash is saying, you guys sit there and say you want the biggest fights, but when he ducks the biggest fights, you don't say nothing. Oh my days, he knocked out Ruiz. Did you see what he did to Ortiz?
Why was but the Fury fight happened though, didn't it?
And certain man didn't want to fight Fury.
And certain man.
Guys, Team Talk podcast. It's been a good one. We're gonna wrap this up. It's been a good one. Next week, like I said, the video for the recap is on YouTube. Watch that. Like, subscribe. Till next week. 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 Till next week.